What's up guys? It's another Blender tutorial today. So we're going to continue from where we stopped the last time. I go select edge slide. I go select the entire edge, right click and go to edge slide so that I go fit change the position of the entire edge. I go move these two edges up like so. So I go try to add another edge loop cut here where I think say space dey, I mean the distance between one edge to the other dey too much, so I go add another edge loop at the place. So I go choose face selection mode. I go come select all these four faces wey be say by merely looking at it you go know say na the middle of the mesh be that. So I go delete those four faces, and then all these vertices I go try to wetin we dey try create today na the hand. Obviously you go don see say na the hand wey we dey try create. So wetin I go do now be say I go try to round this out because the shape wey go dey there now no go make sense. So I don skip the video now as I just move point to make this thing round. You go fit do that yourself instead of wasting time on exactly how I did it. So I go press A to extrude. Now I'm in this left side, which is our front view, so that you go fit dey see your hand as you dey extrude. So I don extrude, press G, come out, and then choose this scale option here, scale inward, to flatten out the extrusion. So I go scale it down a bit like so, and I go continue extruding by pressing E on the keyboard. So now I don't press extrude, I go press G to drag it out. So as I don't drag them out like so, I go try to scale it down again. I go scale and go down like so. I go press E to extrude again, and then I go move and come forward like so. How many extrusion we don't do now? Now 3 extrusion. So I go scale the tip down a little bit again. I go extrude the 4th time, and I go scale down a bit. I go extrude again and move it out like so. And then I go scale on down a bit more than others. So in total, okay, I'll do one more extrusion like so. And then I go scale down, and that is the wrist of the character hand. So I go try to adjust all these things. I go scale this one out a bit. Then I go to layout, and then turn this reference image off. We can check how we dey do for our character modeling. So we don dey extrude the hand go out like so. So I been think say the hand dey too flat, so I go dey do some correction now. So I go select this vertex and that vertex by pressing Shift, Control, then click the last vertex to select the entire vertex from the first one wey you select to the last one. So now I go remove these vertices out. So I go to object mode to see wetin I dey do, and then if I think say I need to do some correction, I go do am. So now I go select this one where I think say na him dey middle, so na the elbow where I wan do now. You know say the elbow go back a little bit, so I go select the front vertex and the back vertex, and then I go move am in the Y axis a little bit like so. take it inward a little bit. Remember, say I turn on the proportional editing tool to affect some vertex where they surrounding. So as I dey do some changes, I dey check for layout to see any mistake or to see if I need adjustment for anywhere at all. So I go go to front view like so, and then I no dey satisfied with the elbow, so I go try to take am back a bit even more. But before I do so, I go press G and then use scroll wheel to reduce the influence we get for here. So now I go press shift and then right click to snap the cursor to this side. I mean in front of where the hand don't finish. You want start to the model the fingers. So now from top view, we will start to the model the fingers. So I go add cylinder like so. I go change the vertices here to 8. So I go rotate, press R to rotate in the Y axis, RY, and then 90 degree, and press enter. Grab in the X axis and then move to the right, so you go come scale am. As you dey scale am inward, you go dey extrude am. So eventually you go achieve something like this. So I go into edit mode and press Ctrl R to add edge loop like so, one for front, one for back like so. So you go add edge loop like I dey do so. You go add, if you the first time when you press Ctrl R, you go scroll to add two edge loop cuts. So now after I don't do that, you go come add one before, one after each edge loop cut where you had. So I will go to vertex mode, select the vertices for middle here, and then press G and then use the blue arrow to move on for Y axis like so. I go select these ones and move a bit, but you not go move on to the level of the first one where you just move now. So I go select this entire vertices, then I go move on a little bit up, but lower than the one where they middle. So I will go back to face selection mode. I will go back to top view and I will select these two faces. So now I will press E to extrude. Then I will press S to scale inward. So the scaling could be very minimal like so, a bit, very minimal. Maybe say you go scale too much, you could drop I go press E again to extrude. And this time I go carry and go down a little bit like so, and then I go drop with left mouse button. So I go press E again to extrude, then I go bring go up with G. Okay, we dey make progress. So now I go to face selection mode. I go select this face wey dey here now. I go press X and then delete face. I go select the face wey dey for back here. I go press X and delete face. So after I don't delete these faces, I go back to the front side of the finger. I go select these two edges, change the selection mode to edges, to edge selection mode. And then after I don't select these four edges, press E to extrude and then choose scale and scale just for Y axis like so. Then choose vertex selection mode and then begin to connect these two vertices. Select these two and then Alt M to merge at center. So you could do this to all these three vertices here. Now you could select this one, the one wey dey for bottom, and then you could say merge at last. Select this one, select the one wey dey top. Make sure say na the one wey dey top, no be another thing wey you dey select, and then merge at last. So now I go to subdivision modifier. I go to modifier and add subdivision modifier like so. If I go to editing mode, I go press that triangle to apply in edit mode. I go select this one wey dey front, turn on proportional editing tool, and then I go press J to scale the proportional editing tool go down like so. So I go to front view, I go press GX, and then I go move and go front a little bit to give it a little bit of round shape for like so. So I go right click and then choose smooth. You go see say this don dey look like finger already. So I go try to move these two vertices up a little bit like so. I go need to turn off the proportional editing to do this properly. So like so. Then I go increase the render here 3, make the viewport to 3. Make the render render 3, viewport 3. So you go fit save your file from here so that you don't lose your file. So I don't go to modeling to split our screen. So I go select this top vertex here and then press Shift S to snap cursor to selected. Come here and choose 3D cursor. So if you rotate this now, if you select all vertices and rotate, you could see you could rotate from the bottom. So if I choose medium point now, and then I will set origin to 3D cursor like so. So if I press this rotation and then I rotate, it could rotate from that point where we just set the origin to. So I will scale this up a bit. I don't know which size the finger will be for now, but we could scale up, scale down eventually to achieve the desired size where we want. So now I will begin to duplicate to get other fingers. I press Shift D, left click to drop, and then choose movement key for that place, and then move this out, the one where you don't duplicate. So I go scale on down for Y axis like so. And then I go rotate a bit so that I no go dey too straight. So this one that the middle finger with that. So this one are the pinky, the smallest finger. So I could just scale am like so to make am smaller than the rest. So the index finger na im I dey do now. So the index finger just dey a little bit smaller than the ring finger, and of course smaller than the middle finger. So I go scale for x axis like so. I go reduce the space like so. I go move on together like so to reduce the space in between the fingers. So now like so you go dey do your finger. Be like say e don dey make sense for your face already. So now I go duplicate the middle finger again and bring am for this side. I go scale am for x axis. So after I don scale am for x axis, I go come scale am for y axis a bit to be a little bit wider than the rest of the fingers. So after I don scale am to desired size wey I want, just any desired size wey you want, then I go rotate am a bit like so. I go move am front. Everything wey I dey do now na just a bit of guesswork. So now I go select all these fingers now and then I go join them together. So select them two now. After I don select these two, press Ctrl J to join, and then you go fit even press everything together from the pinky to the thumb and then press Ctrl J to join everything together. But before I join everything, if you don't join your own, just press Ctrl Z. I want to do something. The thing where I want to be say, I want resize all these fingers now. I want make them look longer. And they look shorter for my face, so I want make them look long. So undo the match where you don't do, where you just do now. And then select the first row of vertices and then press Ctrl and plus to select to up to the beginning of the finger and then start to the grab and then move for x axis like so. Like so you go fit increase the length of the finger. So now you go fit join everything back again together. After I don use Ctrl J to join everything, come to this position, to a position where you say you go fit dey see this side of your modeling and then start merging these vertices, 3 vertices per 2 fingers. So you go select, I don fast forward the video now, you go select the middle one, the last one and the one before the middle one like so. Oops, I don click the wrong vertex. Make sure say you no dey click the wrong vertex. So I don join the 4 fingers like so. So I go begin to the extrude. So double click to select the entire vertices. Go to top view, press A to extrude and move like so. So as e dey move now, I see say some places need tweaking. So I go start to dey tweak now. So tweaking don begin. So I go dey select each vertex wey I see say they no dey properly aligned. So I go try to straighten everything up. You see every other one wey you dey see for here, then go up too much. So I go select these 3 and then try to line them up with the other 3 wey dey straight already. Because if you know they do all these things from now on, eventually after you don't finish modeling the hand, the work will not become too much. So now I go make all corrections. After all corrections, okay, before I go select all these vertices now, and then I go move and go down a little bit. We go expand the hand from there. So we go select all these vertices too. So we go move and go up like so. This is how we go to do our character modeling gradually. There is no rush for character modeling at all. So we can double click in between any two vertices. Okay, if I come to this mode now and I can't count these vertices, you go see say na 8. So we guys have 8 vertices for our fingers too. Because if you get now we get more than 8, and by the time we want start to connect, it will become problem. So now from here now we go start to merge vertices. I go say merge at last, merge at last, merge at last, merge at last. The reason why we dey merge at last be say we wan make the vertices wey dey come from this hand now, we want them to be 8 so that we go fit connect to the body wey we don make before. So 8 to 8 na equal, but because we have too much of vertices now, na impossible mission to connect about 24 vertices to 8 vertices. So wetin we go do be say we go start to dey merge vertices from now on. So after we don merge, by the time we extrude to the hand, we go make sure say we don get at least 8 vertices. So go to top view, press E again to extrude, and then